Every story has a hero and a villain. Heroes are mostly the selfless ones and the upstanding ones, the ones who defend the defenseless and the ones who fight for the braveless. Villains, however, are depicted as shadowy creatures who have powers, invisible forces who use their powers and influence to create stuff which is for their own benefit. They are selfish and they try to get people, kill people, and do other bad things just to gain their own stuff. Yeah, in the real world and history, we have villains too. Can't speak for the whole world, but in Africa, most of our rulers are politicians, the ones who are supposed to lead us. They are as corrupt as AF. Yeah! Now we are all aware of what China is trying to do, the strategic moves he's doing for Africa, granting loans and all that, and taking over airports and seaports and all that. And to the West is seen as tactical moves to overthrow its influence and take over the whole world and all the natural resources of Africa. Yeah, in Ghana too, we've had our own share of cases of Chinese people coming through Ghana and, setting up businesses and trying to push their products into the system at a cheaper price, and allegedly their government is supporting them with loans and funds to do all these things. Conspiracy theorists may say that it's just one of those things that China is strategically doing to take over the whole world, and it's getting obvious as the days go by. Now we know China has a lot of products around the world, and we have Jet Li, Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan, and Donnie Yen killing it in Hollywood. We also have Jack Ma as one of the wealthiest people in the world. We also have some Chinese businesses in Ghana and Chinese personalities in Ghana who are actually doing well to the economy. They are actually producing stuff, and they are, making things easier for us, providing employment for Ghanaians and all that. Even though, I could see some, I don't want to talk about it. So from my earlier monologue, I was talking about heroes and villains. Ghana also has a villain who is of Chinese descent. Her moves and clandestine actions reminds me of this Marvel character called Madame Gao. Madame Gao was also an Asian character in the Marvel Universe, Cinematic Universe, and Marvel Comic Universe, who is one of the criminal underlords. Yes, underlords. Recently, this lady has been making a lot of waves on the news. She started making a lot of waves in 2018, and her sister also started making waves in 2019, where we had this rosewood smuggling saga. I mean, technically, since she's a clandestine criminal underlord, she might have something to do with it, but she had nothing to do with it, even though it's her sister who is directly involved. So her sister was deported. She herself was deported because she was cited as one of the bosses of illegal mining in Ghana. Illegal mining that we are combating, which is the Galamsey problem. I see this woman as a top G because she has got more guys than me, myself. Even though I think I have balls, I think she has bigger balls than me, and bigger balls than a lot of men in Ghana. And from recent events, I think the rumors about her having some debt on politicians in Ghana, and also rumors about her having some big people, influential people in her pockets, it's also making it look like it's true like that. Who am I talking about? By this time you know who I'm about to talk about. Her name is Aisha Huang. I personally call her Aisha Huang because she has balls. So according to rumors, she's seen as someone who is industrious, and she knows a lot of, she has a lot of businesses in Ghana, like most Chinese people in Ghana do, and they support each other, which Africans in the other part of the world, I don't know why they don't do that, but that's a topic for another day. Yeah, others say she's smart and she's a quick learner, she could learn, and she's a real hustler. She is a top G. So Joseph Yamin, who was the former Deputy Minister of Youth Transport and former Deputy Minister of Ashanti region, had something to say about her encounter with Aisha Huang, and I would like to play the video for you to see what he said.
So the next time, you be operation, Ghana ni neighbor no. Now there was a Chinese lady. She said Chinese lady no ni womuna. Yeah, it's more or less like an informant. That was Aisha one. I never knew her.
On the
Ghana.
Man now use as you know.
That's right.
The third time the man was coming. No,
Aisha one. Yeah, operation.
I'm going operation. No,
Aisha one. No, no.
Okay.
Internet is on no moment.
Man information.
Information. You know,
okay.
Because she's with them.
Okay.
It is a cochrana and machines need good compound. So much that the excavators be Google honum. Excavators need na filters need are stuck with
guns and money.
I mean, so serious, so scary. So we sat down. The military force and they put together an operational plan. Operation is supposed to take off 12 midnight and end at 4. There were the aircore site. Galam say Bushwa.
Yeah.
Your team the aircore led by one of their guys. There were the aircore Ifio to go and it was a Rambo style operation.
Wow. This was in year
2015, sorry.
2015. Okay.
I think January 20 January, February.
Okay.
And see, military, we did a perfect exercise. Rounded up all the Chinese in Ethiopia. Site now, I say, you are the other conquer site. Or the soldier for an auntie in Gudam Juana, Jonas Sama, the etching, one who site work.
On Jungle site or that.
Then your China for so by because a counterfeit. Into a moment, I say, see if be a word for should be picked up because they loaded with counterfeit
money.
Omu about 6 or so safes free or Chechenko phone in the Umbu sales. At the end, found out that all the Chinese had resident permit. Bia Muchin Bia had resident permit. Sif no omonim pay no motivo. You break his sif nini na back open an escum. Biaka BBI empty. The next crown say 5 Ghana cedis 2. And a 10 CD credit Vodafone. And there's a sif. At that time, na Aisha one known in crop on the modus operandi, they say, oh, mama, then they go and take over the site. And the equipment need to be here. So they used to do that exercise. And that is why we did phone 1 year man for one site. So it was after your arrest, you that Chinese name the modus operandi of who that lady is. Oh. So you found out that Sana the movement and it was no on one case crab to me the whole China ni no aba. Near pet kwako tuyesika kwa concession on won to be. But at the end of the mind or that concessions because by my ass the
time I had shown.
So according to what the honorable gentleman said, he said that in 2015 when he was the deputy minister of the Asante region, there was this operation where they were going to bust syndicates of counterfeit makers or counterfeit creators or counterfeit operators, and they got a tip off from a certain Chinese lady, and this counterfeit operation syndicate was made of Chinese people. Yeah, so they adopted a Rambo style operation to go and bust these people where she showed them where their hideout was and where their place of operation was. Yeah, when they got there and ransacked the place and they went into their safes to find out if they would get counterfeits, they found only 2 5 Ghana cedis and 1 Vodafone credit, which is 10 cedis. Vodafone scratch card 10 cedis. So upon interrogation with one of the suspects, they made it known that the one who was the informant is their kingpin. She is the boss of the bosses. And who am I talking about? Her name is Aisha Huang, the lady with the big balls, top G, last killer of GH. So the honorable gentleman went further to say that this lady is a very industrious person and she has links. So when people from China want to get concessions to mine on the land of Ghana to get some gold, she is more like the go-to person, the person with the relationship and the person with the connections in Ghana. And what she does is to lure the people to pay money to the authorities for them to get the lands, and later she snitches on them or does something to them and put them in trouble. So she will take the land and mine on it and take it herself. As I said, she is the perfect criminal mastermind for the Ghanaian community, man. I think we should write a comic book with her as the villain. And if you don't know what a concession is basically an area located by government to companies for extraction of minerals for mining. So basically that's all concession is about. Now, others like the veteran journalist in Ghana, Kweku Baku, also said that this lady has some debt on some high officials who have sex. I think she has sex tapes of some politicians and she's blackmailing them with it.
This particular Chinese woman, I have it on record, was arrested 3 times during the previous administration. 3 times she was released. She's a very powerful woman. Operates more within the Ashanti region, especially Kumasi. She's got connections from my own checks also in this administration. She appears to be a very smooth operative. She's built a network across the political divide. She's got her agents placed in state institutions, particularly the security agencies. And she's able to wriggle herself out of danger or trouble anytime she's touched. I hope it doesn't happen this time around. Yeah. That's why those who are receiving the calls from the so-called power brokers must be sure who are calling them, and they must expose them if indeed they work for the system.
Right.
It's part of the cure.
I guess now people can connect to what Kweku Baku has been doing on this show for almost 3 weeks running. Anytime we mention the issue of Galamsey, he says those people that are arrested should be prosecuted. And he mentions and refers to some woman but doesn't say all about them. I hope you can now connect it.
Yes, and she's got accomplices. The other one is called Monica. The other one, the name has slipped me because it's a Chinese name. I can't pronounce. But they are powerful. Look, and you see, part of their strength is that they built up a certain system of blackmailing. They are women. So I'm not going to use certain words and I'm not going to say certain things as to when they came into town, what they began to do, who were they, what were they, had nothing to do with Galamsey. Gradually, they moved from that particular trade into Galamsey. Look, they have, they have video and audio recordings of people who are powerful, of people who have been entrusted with responsibilities to protect us as a people. I'm telling you, that's how dangerous the game is. And that is where the strength, the power of these Chinese women are coming from.
They have entrapped them in videos containing what?
You want me to say it?
That's why we can't wait for your daily guide.
Sex.
Crusading guide and analysis work. That's why we can't wait.
I haven't said this will be seen in analysis work. I haven't said that. But I'm telling you, they have video and audio recordings of their conversations with some strategically placed persons from then and now, and some they are having sex with, or they have girls, some mainly Chinese, who they brought into town, who sleep with these big men or big guys well placed. And they have them, and they use it to blackmail our big men into submission. That's how powerful they have become.
And as usual in Ghana, when things like this happen, now politicians try to shake blame on the ruling party, between the ruling party and the opposition. Now, an MPP coordinator by the name Kamal Abdul Kamal Abdul-Din. Kamal-Din Abdullah. Yeah, that's the name. Yeah, he also tried to put it on the NDC, tried to say that Aisha wants operation.
Don't start this business today. Even under the NDC. Under the NDC, and I'm saying it, she started it even under the NDC, and she was so powerful that everybody knows, to the extent that some allegations came out that ministers under the NDC were using her for some of these works. It's common knowledge, it's public knowledge. Names were mentioned. I wouldn't like to use a platform because I cannot substantiate it. But however, these things came into public domain, that she was using operatives or elements of the then government and the NDC government to operate. Until the MPP also came in, and we found that she was out of behind this, that she was arrested and in fact deported, as it were. She's planned her way back. Let the law take its course. So for someone to sit down and say, let me blame government, let me chastise government, let me chastise the MPP government, well, for not for arresting, if you like, Aisha Huang, or for being a bit relaxed in terms of security for Aisha Huang to come back, I think that person is just not doing us any good. What is material is that this woman, crime has no expiry date, has been arrested. And no wonder the Attorney General has said that, look, let us revisit even the past crimes, because crime doesn't expire. Then I will build a proper case, ensure that she's prosecuted, and if she's found culpable, she's then punished by the law of a court of competent jurisdiction, as it were. So the idea of seeking to say, let's blame MPP government, is just MPP government, I think that is what I'm fighting, and I think it's not proper. It is something that we all need to speak against, and then ensure that the security apparatus rises up to the task, or rise up to the task, and fight strongly to protect lives and property of the people of this country, as it were.
This was successful under the NDC, so trying to make the NDC or the opposition look like criminals and corrupt people. And honestly, I think it's not necessary, but I mean, it is what it is. They are trying to distract people and shift things as usual. That's what we do now. Yeah, so yeah, I got a bit distracted. So yeah, Aisha Huang was arrested in 2018. Which was in connection with the illegal mining business. And she wasn't prosecuted or arrested or anything like that because of diplomatic issues. So the only thing they did was to deport her to China. A lot of people had issues with it, but you know, we didn't get to anywhere, and we forgot about it, and we continued living in Ghana. We are living our normal lives, complaining about the currency and complaining about the economy, complaining about unemployment and all of that stuff. And last week we found out that a lady is still in Ghana. As to how she came back, we don't know. Others claim she came to Togo, others claim she never left. Others claim the politicians were just lying to us. And the funny thing is, the reason why she got access was through the same connection to the thing that she was caught in the first place, which is illegal mining. Now you see why I claim that she is the top G. She has balls. She has balls more than even me. I don't have balls. Anyway, all I can say about this issue is that I said we you know, go reach anywhere. And even if it reaches anywhere, country broke or you don't broke, we still there inside. Anyway, yeah, and I respect her guts. I wish I have cut off the confidence that she have. But by this time, I tell you yet. Anyway, the name is ADB, and that was my opinion. I'm out dismissing. Hasta la vista.
And we say bye-bye. Misukedian Ponkwame and Sam, Osone Asase ya and Sam, Nanano Musa man for and Sam, Yigwami Koma Pa, yeah.